Hey guys, what's up? Joshua's Boosters here, and today I'm joined by my very good friend Robin from CCG. Hey Robin,
Hey Joshua, hey guys.
how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good actually. Yeah.
Okay, well that's good to hear because I know this past weekend you actually took place in one of the Extravaganza events, right? Which one did you play?
I played the German one. So basically, Switzerland has like three languages, so we
Mm-hmm.
could have played either the French, Italian, or German one. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I think that one was pretty big, right? It had like 160 players or something.
Yeah, 168 in the
Okay,
end. Yeah.
so pretty big for a remote duo event. And what did you do?
So I finished 14th, so top 16, with a score of 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, I guess. Like it was my first remote duel tournament, so it was a new experience. But yeah, it was kind of cool.
Okay, well that's good to hear. And what deck did you play?
So I played Drytron, so I guess like the best deck I would assume, or one of the best decks at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Like I would say
Yeah,
top two.
yeah, you could say so. Like BA, PK could also be up there.
That's obviously the number one pick. So yeah, I guess. I mean, if you have any spice, let's just hop into the deck profile and just show us what you got.
All right, sure. Um, I will go over like the standard stuff like pretty quickly because it's not that interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's start with um basically uh, 12 alphas
Okay,
because
so a lot of
that's part of the deck.
starters. Yeah.
Exactly. And then like the Archritrons, going to talk quickly about why only two Zeta and
Yep.
why the beta. So basically, during testing, it came up, or basically, a lot of people are playing three Zeta because it grabs you the ritual spell, which
Yeah.
is like kind of important.
For sure.
But especially, but actually, you're playing way more than only three Zeta because you're also playing the terraforming, the Nova, and whatever else, or Manju, and all these cards. So you're playing way more ritual spells, which means like basically a lot of times Zeta is nothing else than better,
Yeah.
because you already have access to the ritual spell. So I felt like I didn't want to play more Drytrons because like this, you have a chance of 72% if you go first to have at least two of them in the hand.
Yeah.
And going second, you can go down to 15 to have the same percentage, which is pretty good. And better, I'm going a little bit more into detail with this card later on because of some spice that was
Okay.
in the deck.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Then, then we got pretty good card, which should be a 3, I guess.
I
Um,
guess.
and then only two preparation of rights.
That's interesting.
But the point for the two preparation of rights is Benton is an amazing card. But at one point, Benton isn't that good. At the point where you're starting to see too much Benton and not enough Drytrons.
Mm-hmm.
With calculations, I think 5 should be the correct number to have for sure one card, but not having multiples of it.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to like increase the consistency at that point, while having also the space to have hand traps in the deck.
Yeah. Did you actually think about playing what's it called? Extra Foolish Burial?
I was thinking about it, but as you're going to see with the Spice deck, it has like some flaws in it.
Okay, yeah.
Um, then we got like the normal stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big one is always Ultimateness versus Banky Ruler. Um, I expected a lot of Rogue during this weekend, so I decided on Ultimateness because it helps you playing better against trap decks like
Yeah.
versus Torrential. it's a little bit annoying to have like your win con losing to it. So yeah, that's it about like the fairy stuff. Then the hand traps, like the Tree Herald, the
Yep.
obvious one. 3D Bureau.
Okay.
I had space for 6 hand traps in the main deck, and I felt in the beginning I was planning on playing the Drawn Lockbird, but actually I thought like who actually plays Drytron or like word to word, and especially after the LCS, like Eldlik Zoo got kind of popular,
Yeah.
and all is all right against both decks, but it's not good. And with Nibiru, I felt like I could rather punish my opponents if they're overextending um, in both matchups. In Zoo matchup, especially if I'm going first and can only set up like a mediocre board. If they're going for a Zeus play, they always go over the 5 summons. If they really want to have like this 6 material Zeus with
Yeah.
there were which was like promoted as the best card around. So you just had like a win option at that point. And it won me a lot of games actually, because people weren't playing around it anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I get it because like it lost a lot of popularity in the main deck, especially, right?
Exactly, yeah. Then we got Cold, Cold Buy and Instant
Yeah,
Fusion.
good cards.
So yeah, it's kind of weird to format as playing Drytron is normally like kind of or actually not the right decision or like the right way to go. For the simple reason that as everybody is playing and Drawn Lockbird in the main deck,
Yeah.
which is actually only there because of Drytron or has like the major implications against Drytron.
Yeah.
So I thought possibilities to play around it, and it also has like side benefits. Post board against Cycle Reader, which is a pretty good card.
Yep.
That both cards are outing it. And for instant fusion, it gives you level 1 monster, which can be kind of important for some Zeus plays.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then we got like the 2 cards you have to play, just part of the deck.
Yep.
And I guess the big one,
Ah, nice.
Fortress. The card is amazing. Like it helps, or it increases the consistency of the deck so much. It's unfortunately a money card, but yeah, it really helps. Like getting to the right cards. Like even hitting, just getting a Herald
Mm-hmm.
to give your opponent like or actually your opponent starts to play around the Herald, even though maybe you don't even have a Bentman in hand or something like playing these
Yeah.
mind games. Really, really good or really crucial. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Uh,
this card should probably be like a staple going, into the Blazing Vortex format for this deck, right?
yeah. I guess like in general, like in most decks, it seems like an auto include. To be honest, if you're not relying too much on drawing effects within the deck,
Yeah.
and like before the issue was Pot of Desires wasn't you won't be able to play Pot of Desires just
Mm-hmm.
because of a lot of crucial one-offs, and also Pot of Extravaganza was like kind of weird. I tested around a lot of it, but it's just not reliable enough.
Yeah, that makes
And I
sense.
feel with this card, yeah, you have some additional options.
Yeah, for sure.
Then going to the extra deck, yes, standard stuff. Uh, I guess maybe Masquerena is like, I guess since the LCS, it's like common, especially the interaction with Access Code Talker,
Mm-hmm.
that your monster can't be destroyed by card effects.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. Um,
Oh,
uh,
can you maybe move exactly? Yeah, thanks.
sorry. Um, Maybe something to talk about is the rather large XYC package with
Yeah.
both birds. Um, so basically, the idea, as you're going to see in the site, Yeah, basically, especially post side, there are a lot of situations where you have to go, where you can go for a double Zeus push. And I guess like game one, if you're going first, you should normally win with the Herald of Perfection. Going second, it's trying to, or it's kind of try to break your board, and sometimes yeah, it works out, and you get away with one Zeus, or you just lose.
Yeah.
Post-board, it gets way more difficult because there are a lot of hand traps, especially there just to beat Drytron. And it comes up actually kind of a lot where you have the possibility to go for a second Zeus. Like the first one gets rid of some stuff, then they're clearing your Zeus, putting up their board, and if you have the possibility to go for a second one, you might be able to win games which you shouldn't or wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
So now,
We are
we're
finally
going
getting
to
to
the
the
actual
spicy.
interesting part.
Yeah, we're going to the spicy part right now, right?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So there was one big thing before tournament or something I was testing with some friends in before. Um, Going second against Virtual World or the mirror match, it was kind of weird. Or you didn't have like enough space to play enough hand traps for all the occasions. Like
Mm.
Nibiru is all right. It might be good. It might be not.
Yeah.
So I want to play enough impactful hand traps. And the first one that comes to mind is basically Gamma, because Gamma is always good.
Yep.
It's but it wasn't enough. Like especially in the side, as the space is kind of tight. We were thinking about a second possibility to have like a good bomb hand trap against all the combo decks, and I guess that's like the spice of the deck. So if you think about the card, like no one would play D shift or like you're siding D shift against Drytron, so why would
Yeah.
you side it in Drytron itself?
So tell us, Robin, why are you
Um,
doing this?
so like the idea behind it is Zeus is a pretty unfair card. And going second, something that's important for people to know actually, if Ben is tributed and banished, you still get a search. So basically,
Yep.
if you have Benton and any Drytron monster going second, you have access to Zeus because you can search the Eva and just normal summon it and go for the Xyz or like the rank 1 Xyz.
Mm-hmm.
And with D-Shifter, it's possible to just stop your opponent's turn. It doesn't matter if you're playing against Virtual World, Drytron, against Dragon Link, Infernoble, Burning Abyss, whatever.
Best deck. Yeah.
Their endgame is not that great board. So what you can do is like go for Zeus at that point. And if you have the possibility to go for the 4 material Zeus, you can have like a good chance that you're not able to break your board or like basically beat your Zeus.
Yep.
Afterwards, you have already access to one Drytron, which is underneath the Zeus, and you have Eva. So potentially, if you get access to another fairy to get to your graveyard at some point, you
Mm-hmm.
already have access to the Cyberpet Angel to grab a Benton and then just continue.
Yep.
So siding also the second boost, basically just for the go second occasions for the against combo decks to have like this double push, which I was referring to
Yeah.
earlier on.
Now it makes sense. Yeah.
Actually, maybe something I could say at this point. I was even considering playing Dimension Shifter as second hand trap in the main, besides the Herald.
Yeah.
But it just felt like too crazy at that point. Like if I'm expecting a lot of Rogue, there's no reason or like no way I can play D-Shifter in the main deck.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
guess
I get it.
if you're sure you're playing a tournament just against combo decks, you could easily play it in the main deck, especially as they can't troll you while they're under D-Shifter.
Yeah.
They can't use Forbidden Droplets. So you have like some actually good possibilities to get to your Zeus and then just win because Zeus is good.
Yeah, it actually does a lot more than you would, first give it credit for.
So we got one Mystic Mine inside deck. There was like I guess the 15th slot.
Okay.
It was in the main deck, as you saw earlier on. I was playing one Terraforming and one
Mhm.
Field Spell. So it was just against combo decks like another semi-good hand trap, just like Nibiru is not always good. But I feel like if you can play 3D Shifter, 3 Gamma, 3 Nip, and Terraforming with Mystic Mine, that should be basically enough to also win versus combo going second
Yeah.
at that point. Then for back row decks, because you have to play something. So the main deck, I felt like it's kind of alright, or like technically you should have like an advantage over back row decks.
Yeah,
So the
because the
only
deck is
thing I
just
would
inherently
change,
better, right?
exactly, yeah. So like the only thing I would change is taking out Nibiru's for Cosmic Cyclones and Red Reboot. Yeah,
Yep.
that's about it. And the last three cards, like also
Oh,
probably not the most usual ones. These three cards were basically just for the Outlick Zoo deck. Like back to the old issue, like with Zeus, that Zeus is like pretty strong. So I felt okay. With enemy control or mind control, you have access to just like get their Zeus, like without having to invest multiple monsters.
yeah.
And at that point, you basically just win because you can just pop their back row, like, or they're doing it on their own already. So yeah,
Yeah.
I
All right.
guess yeah, I I think that's about it.
Did you ever miss like, even though your deck is inherently better, did you ever miss like more back row disruption cards like Lightning Storm, for example?
Um, well, I was thinking about it to be honest, but I thought it makes more sense to actually play cards which solve the actual issue. For example, the Shell Schism, which I can just chain to the
Yeah,
Lightning
yeah,
Storm. And also, like, Anti-Spell got kind of popular. So I felt like, okay, if I have the inherent out to it, I should be fine, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Maybe before we like round off the video, can you give us like a little rundown of your matchups for the event?
Yeah, sure. Um, I'm just going to do it globally. I
Yeah, that's
think I
fine.
played against four. No, it was actually five word-to-word decks.
Wow, out of
Um,
8 rounds, right? 5 virtual world.
yeah, I think it was the most represented deck. So I mean, like the meta call was right, and there wasn't a lot of Drytron around. Um, but it still was kind of impressive to play against that many word-to-word.
Yeah, I
I
think so
was
as
lucky
well.
enough to I was lucky enough to win two dice roll. At least like these games I won just because of the dice roll.
Yeah.
And the other matchups I won one with D shifter um, combo, which was pretty cool. I messed one D shifter combo up. That's one of my losses, unfortunately. And yeah, otherwise it was just normal VFD control.
Yeah.
Then I played against two Infinity Track decks, like
Okay.
this weird one with Machinas, which is doing like some crazy stuff, or like
Yeah, it basically it floats forever, right? That's what it does.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I found out it can also summon VFD,
That is true. That is
which
true, yeah.
and yeah, I think what was the last round? I yeah, it was against Pure Shuttle,
Okay.
I think, which was like kind of scary because Winda it just beats this deck.
It's a good card, yeah.
But luckily enough, like my idea to beat the Zual Lake with enemy control and mind control had like the niche application that also helps to beat Winda,
Yeah.
which was kind of nice.
Okay,
I
and your
guess that
losses
was it.
ended up
Yeah,
being just the virtual world decks, I guess, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they finished second and sixth in the end, so they played it quite good. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, I guess that's pretty much it then, Robin. Thank you
Yes.
so much for the deck profile. I hope the people watching this enjoy the spicy D-shifter tech. Any last words you want to say before we shut it down?
I guess shout out to my team, Complexity Card Gaming,
Nice team.
and to Ultimate Card and Card Market, and hope to see you all guys at the next remote duel tournament, or maybe at some point YCS, whatever.
Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. Okay, well, thank you, Robin, and everybody watching. You know the deal. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.